This video is sponsored by Skillshare. With the release of the new M2 iPad Air and Apple Pencil Pro, I've been so excited to dive further into more creative, pro-like apps on iPad. Many apps have implemented new updates and features with the new gestures you get on Apple Pencil Pro, like squeeze and barrel roll, and harnesses the extra power we get from the M2 chip by allowing us to do some tasks that would otherwise take a while and be complicated to implement. In this video, I'm excited to share creative apps that I feel really highlight the cool things that can be accomplished with Apple Pencil Pro and the new M2 iPad Air. And a lot of what I hope to demonstrate and share can also speed up your creative processes as well. Now, some of the apps I am sharing do have a learning curve if you're not already familiar with apps like Adobe Fresco or Procreate Dreams, which is the animation-based version of Procreate, and that's where I think Skillshare can be really beneficial. I'm already familiar with Procreate and have loved creating in Procreate for years now, so I've been wanting to learn Procreate Dreams, and I've been taking a class to guide me and help me get started. I found this class on Skillshare, Getting Started with Procreate Dreams, Animation for Everyone by Lisa Bardot. Having something as complicated as animation broken down into these tangible lessons allows me to learn from wherever, and then I can take what I've learned and apply it to my own future projects with Procreate Dreams, and also apply the new features or updates that they bring to the app. Lisa is very easy to follow, and this class has been a lot of fun. So if there is an app I feature in this video that you want to dive further into learning, Skillshare is a great place to do it. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today. So speaking of Procreate Dreams, let's start with the cool stuff that they brought to the table. So this is Procreate Dreams. I can use Apple Pencil Squeeze to play and pause movie playback. I can switch this off in movie settings and then preferences by tapping on the movie name. But this is a really handy quick action because I can pause or play my animation without ever needing to move my Apple Pencil, so it just speeds up the workflow. Haptic feedback is something I've also really enjoyed with the Apple Pencil Pro. Feeling the actions that I do on my iPad through the Apple Pencil Pro just gives me confirmation of the tasks that I'm doing, and it's rather lovely. In Procreate Dreams, haptic feedback provides that tactile confirmation when editing on the timeline. If I trim my content, for instance, I can feel it snap to match other content when using Apple Pencil Pro. A new feature that was added to Procreate Dreams that harnesses the more increased power of the neural engine in the iPad Air is a live filter for lens blur. So if I tap on the playhead of my layer with my animation, I can choose to apply a new filter, lens blur. So I can add a realistic bokeh or camera focus effect to my animation without having to animate this in every single frame. And this filter is applied live. It's quite incredible not needing to go frame by frame within Procreate Dreams. You can also animate while your movie plays in Procreate Dreams and tap into movement by using the Apple Pencil's barrel roll. So if you both move and rotate your object at the same time. The team of Procreate also implemented new features that tap into Apple Pencil Pro in their original app Procreate as well. In Brush Studio with Procreate, there is now a new way to control the shape rotation, stroke jitter, color, dynamics, the grain rotation, the size, the opacity, and so many other brush settings. By rolling your Apple Pencil, you can adjust these additional brush settings and create really unique ways to use brushes as a result. They added a new brush that demonstrates this behavior called Roll Marker, which has been a lot of fun to experiment and play with as far as creating in Procreate, but also playing in the settings of the Brush Studio itself. And you're able to add the roll response to these other brushes by enabling it in the settings in the Apple Pencil tab. You can also use barrel roll for liquify. You will have full control over rotation by using the liquify twirl. This is really fun. I can spend all day using this because it feels more like using traditional art tools since I am physically rolling the Apple Pencil to get this behavior. With Squeeze, you can assign custom actions under Actions, preferences, and gesture controls. So depending on how you like to work and use Procreate, you can set the squeeze to select the layer you want to work on. This, in my opinion, is the cooler gestures you can assign to squeeze, because I can use the power of hover and hover over a piece of my artwork and then squeeze my Apple Pencil to select that layer. So you're never having to worry about working on the wrong layer. You can also set squeeze to pull up the eyedropper or use quick menu to activate other shortcuts without ever needing to touch the screen. Zinnia is a great app for digital journaling, and I've shared Zinnia on this channel numerous times for digital planning, so it's exciting to see how they're implementing their own feature for Apple Pencil Pro. Their drawing engine now responds to the rotation of Apple Pencil Pro with barrel roll, so you can control the exact angle of the tip of your writing tool, so you can practice things like calligraphy. You hover your pencil over the canvas and you'll see a preview of exactly how the pen will draw before you ever touch the screen. And then you can roll the pen to get the exact angle that you want. The new squeeze gesture can then give you instant access to switch your drawing tools regardless of where you're drawing on your canvas. Haptic feedback is especially nice in Zinnia because when you're drawing straight lines, you can feel that tactile feedback of the lines snapping or adjusting the angle of your lines in place. Speaking of digital planning and journaling, GoodNotes has support for the powerful new interactions of Apple Pencil Pro. With a squeeze of Apple Pencil Pro, I can quickly switch between essential tools of the app, like modifying the color of my pen or the thickness of my stroke, and switching to things like the shape tool or lasso. The fountain pen also has dynamic ink, so I have precise control of the flow of the ink by rotating the barrel of my Apple Pencil, making the experience of writing or drawing in GoodNotes feel even more dynamic and more true to life. If you like Procreate, then you might like Adobe Fresco. Fresco offers realistic watercolor and oil painting, and many of the brushes in Fresco replicate how paints blend and interact in real life. It can be a lot of fun to lose time and decompress with Fresco personally, but it can be used professionally for various projects. Fresco harnesses the new features of Apple Pencil Pro with barrel roll. Fresco can better simulate real-world drawing by being able to rotate the brush tip. So if I go under pixel brushes, FX, and then foliage, I can actually physically rotate my Apple Pencil Pro using that internal gyroscope to add flowers and foliage to this tree. You can best see this with the rake brush as well. So under pixel brushes, rakes, and then big rake, I can rotate the pencil to change the shape of the brush to get the different effects in Fresco. You can enable barrel rotation for many other pixel brushes by tapping on the brush settings, shape dynamics, control, and then roll. Haptic feedback is also really nice in Fresco when aligning objects and using the snap to shape features. And you can't forget squeeze, which allows you to access a new shortcuts menu that provides quick access to recently used brushes, color, brush size, and undo or redo buttons. Of course, those are some really creative apps that can accommodate some really heavy and professional workflows outside of just personal use. But we don't have to go far from home for apps that have harnessed these features like Apple Notes or Freeform. In Apple Notes, we can of course roll our Apple Pencil Pro to access the barrel roll features to change the shape of our brush, depending on whether we're drawing in our notes or just want to have a really specific look while we're writing. And we can do that with the tools in Notes. In my opinion, it's easiest to see the barrel roll action on camera with the highlighter specifically, but don't forget you can actually drag and drop things that you draw in Notes into GoodNotes. So if you want to doodle something in particular within Notes with maybe a very specific tool that's not available in GoodNotes, then you can actually drag and drop that over into GoodNotes for your notes or your digital planner. With Squeeze, you can access a quick menu of tools anywhere that you're writing that you can quickly switch out to writing utensils or just change the stroke width or the color and so on. It's really handy to be able to switch between tools without ever really needing to take a beat. And then there's the haptic feedback. Now the haptic feedback is nice, especially when you go to undo, because I can feel what's being done through my Apple Pencil Pro. Notes and Freeform are alike in that the tools are pretty much the same. Of course, we have access to additional elements like shapes and symbols and can drop in so many different file types when creating mind maps or mood boards or whatever you envision for Freeform. So we still have the same features with the Apple Pencil Pro, barrel roll, haptic feedback, and squeeze. In some apps, the barrel roll and squeeze can open up an entire world of shortcuts and new actions to speed up your current workflows, but in other apps, it can tap into other creative ways of doing work or having fun. I covered only a sample of apps that are implementing Apple Pencil Pro, so I'm really excited to see in a few months from now, maybe even a few weeks from now, how app developers make use of what's new, not only with Apple Pencil Pro, but new updates or features that taps into the higher performance with the M2 chip on iPad Air, which is what I use today, but also the M4 iPad Pros. Let me know if you have used any of these apps or if you know of other apps that have particularly cool actions for these Apple Pencil Pro gestures. If you're unsure whether you want to upgrade to the M2 iPad Air, then you'll love my M2 iPad Air review video where I cover my thoughts on switching to the M2 iPad Air after being an M2 iPad Pro user for so long. If you want to use the Apple Pencil Pro features, then you'll need to make sure that you have one of the newer iPads, whether it's the Air or the Pro. So hopefully that video can help you decide whether it is worth the upgrade for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!